Scratch every bear, lick every boot, make every appeal. Prostrate yourself to the killing machine, spare yourself from its wheels. Better them than me, roll so seductively off your tongue. Your reckoning has begun. In spite of endless war, restriction level advanced, depredation and plague. Every one of your ancestors survived a reproductive age. The probability that you are even here is next to none. Hey, no pressure, everyone. Wish it got darker, had to face it alone, there'd be no crying for help. Just how wide I've had to figure shit out my whole life by myself. I say it's cool, it's fucked up, truth be told, it's cost me a few friends. Sometimes you must protect yourself. Fuck around, resourceful, resilient. I power through the waves of disappointment. Maybe not quite thriving, but I'm buoyant. I am at peace these days. Give and take a fit of blinding rage. I can't seem to shake the belief that there's a liminal state between death and rebirth in which you and me reconvene. Oh yes, I'm really fine at bodies charting on my face with a Sharpie. Excuse me, sir, this is an Arby's. I am at peace. I am at peace. Though presently convulsed with grief, I am at peace. Some days I'm scared I'm gonna die, or even worse, I might survive. I try to keep these words in mind. Nothing worth having comes without some kind of fight. Gotta kick at the darkness till it bleeds stay low.
Went right to the face today. What's going on, guys? Didn't even tune her down. What's fuck's going on, everybody? How's it going? Okay, guys, our views are down, like kind of a bit. So I'm going to start experimenting a little bit with the algorithm, and by doing that, I mean, I'm going to do a couple things maybe a little bit differently. I'm going to replace swear words like I would on a disc golf course. I'm not going to swear as much, because I think that has something to do with the algorithm. I'm not going to swear quite as much, but it's still going to happen. And I'm also trying a pillow out today, so we'll see how that feels. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to get a smaller pillow. And the other thing, we're going to try a few other things. We're going to try to go with some buzz titles. Not like buzz titles like, you know, like I'm toying with what to do with the buzz title. Do I want to go with like, do I want to just get really dumb about it? Like old man guitar player tries digital cube, you know, like some stupid crap like that. Or like just random. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about, what do you guys think we could do to change that a little bit? Because I mean, we've also seen some people leave the channel as well. I think I need to do more playing, a little bit less talking, maybe. I do enjoy my gabbing, and we do talk a lot here, but that's kind of just part of the show here, really. Fuck off. No thanks. See right there, I just can't help but draw. Like, I withhold swears all day working in education. I literally, if you guys start fighting, no fighting. There's no fighting allowed in this house. I'm talking to cats. All right, guys. So we're talking today about Brainworx. Now, Brainworx is a company that's been around longer than, much longer than Neural DSP, much longer than STL Tones, much longer than a bunch of different companies. And yet, for some reason, this company seems to have fallen a little bit out of favor. And I think part of that has something to do with convenience. That's a big part of it. It's going to be convenience. And this pillow's driving me nuts. So I'm going to have to figure something else out. I feel like I'm sitting like right now. That's much better. I'm gonna try not to slouch. But this company has fallen a little bit out of favor because of convenience. And when I say convenience, I mean that everything is not built right in for the user. Case in point, recently on a certain sooner post, someone was begging for a diesel, a licensed diesel VH4. Someone was just begging for it. And it's like they're like, and I always in situations like that, I feel the need to play devil's advocate a little bit and just chime in and be like, hey, if you're looking for a VH4, man, there's a really good one from this company or that company or this company. And this person literally came back and was just like, that thing's so old school. Like, why? It's got like, there's no, like, it's just an amp. And like, I get it. If you're used to a suite style plugin, this is going to be a little bit less feature rich on the surface, but there's still a lot going on in these. And I want to talk a little bit about that today. There's no 3D loader. And we want to talk about why 3D loaders are not important. In fact, in my opinion, and the opinion of many, a 3D loader is actually almost detrimental to certain aspects of your sound and your whole your workflow rather. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we need to do more tone chasing. I think we need to do, we're going to start doing interviews. Not interviews, we're going to start having more guests on the channel. We noticed that those were stirring up some nice interest in the channel and everything. We're going to do more things where we invite people into the chat. I'm aiming to try to do it every Saturday to have some level of guest, whether it's a developer or a graphic artist or a guitar player, a bass player, creator, popular creator, somebody. My goal is to have somebody here with us every Saturday that I'm able to be here, okay? Or every weekend. And then Fridays will remain Fridays. We do gear stuff, we talk shit, and then we're going to try to do something a little bit more interactive for everybody. And it's a lot of fun, too. We are going to have, I almost said his name. There's a certain very large artist that has agreed to come in here and talk about his new signature plugin when it drops. Couldn't be more excited. So anyways, getting back to it, Brainworx is a company that for a long time employed a man named Igor Nembrini. And we all know Igor. You know, we all know Igor Nembrini from, of course, Nembrini Audio. And you'll notice that right in the thing right here, you'll notice modeled by Nembrini Audio. And that's not the case for all of these plugins. They don't all say modeled by Nembrini Audio, but they all are. Igor Nembrini did every one of these plugins. So if you know Nembrini Audio and you know them to have a high level of quality, you can trust Brainworx right to the core. Here's the other thing about Brainworx. is you can get all of the plugins, every plugin I'm showing you right in this, I'm going to show you today. And if you guys have a request, I have them all in the list, minus the HB, the Friedman HB, because it's terrible. Do not buy that one. I'm going to tell you just flat out. They missed. It's their only miss with an amp sim, though. Every single solitary product they have, whether it's the incredible Ampegs. Oh my God. We're going to do a bass stream, I think, this weekend. I know 2 bass streams in a row. The last bass stream got screwed over because I played like 9 seconds of a fucking AC/DC song and they got really fucking mad at me. And I was like, okay, fine. I gotta mute that. Anyways, it's going to be fun. Brainworx has so much to offer. And the reason that I say you need this stuff is because it's affordable as well. When they have sales, they don't give what are we going to say? We're going to say people that generally do not give a fuck. And those people, sometimes you call them ignorant, just straight ignorant, don't care, ignorant. And I'm not saying ignorant in a bad way, but these guys are just straight ignorant. The ignorant, man, they will put this stuff on sale for an extraordinarily low price. I've seen all of these plugins within $25 to $30. And I've seen these pedal plugins I have loaded up at $5. I think they even have a $1 plugin at one point. They have bundles at the Plugin Alliance, everything else. And not just this stuff as well. We're talking about tons and tons, metric tons of stuff that can make your mixes sound better as well. Okay, so we're going to start out today with the Herbert, actually. Or should we? No, you know what? Let's start out with the old school rock rack. And here's one thing about these plugins I'm going to point out right from the start. The IR loaders in these plugins will just straight up not be your favorite thing. They're horrible. The IRs themselves that they include are not bad, but this situation, the loader is terrible. Watch this. If I want to go to the top and get to the bottom, okay, this is just 40 files. This is super easy. But if I want to go, say, to the Angle Savage that we're going to touch on as well today, I'm going to go here and go to FX Rack, and we can go all the way up. And now watch how long it takes me to get to the bottom. And go. That's seconds. Seconds of my life I'll never get back. You might be thinking it's just seconds. But when you're auditioning IR after IR after IR and you're jumping around a bit in the list, that can be a little bit problematic, even waiting those seconds. I get it. That's not one of the... Sometimes, depending on the speed of your machine, they have a few that it'll take you even longer to get to the bottom of that list. So we're going to try out some of these, but ultimately what I love to do with these is I love to blend them with my own bunch of IRs. And you guys know that which IR I'm talking about. I'm going to put my own IR into play here. And I'm going to use my very favorite. And that way we can EQ, like we can just even the playing field for all of these amps. Just understand that every one of these amp sims comes fully loaded with enough cabs to tickle your fancy for sure. But the thing is, there's only a single IR loader. There's not a dual. You're not going to blend anything. That's kind of problematic for some people these days. But the only thing that I would say is dated about these plugins is the IR section. Not the IRs themselves, but just the section. And so I honestly find it just easier to use my own. In this case, if we go to the top, how far down can we go here? Wow, that was seconds of my life I won't get back. So, in my opinion, if you're not willing to make your loader better, I'm not willing to use it. So the files, I'm not discriminating against the files. I'm discriminating against the fact that I know I have some great IRs. These plugins, don't be afraid to just sniff around a little bit, find things, and see what you like. If there's something you like. But for this, we are just for all intents and purposes, we're just going to turn that right off, and we're not even going to use it. So here's the other thing we've got. We've got delay built right in, like people like. People do like that. We've got a unique power soak feature that you don't see all that often. You've got a bypass for the preamp, a bypass for the power amp for various reasons, if you'd like. But these are things that you don't see in every plugin. Pardon me, adjustment here. the rectifier on Brainworx is your favorite. You mean the Mega? I think it's the Mega Dual or the Mega Single. It's not bad. But I'm going to get started today, I believe, with Rock Rack. And this one I've seen as cheap as $5. I'm sorry, but this, yeah, it's older, but yes, it's worth $5. Now, for these older ones that don't have the immediate bypass, they don't have that bypass button, but it's bypassable. You just go to the first file on the list, or you can go all the way to the bottom. But usually what I do, because the list is long, I go to the first file on the list, boop, and then I hit the back button here, and it gives you no recording chain. That means that's an IR bypass. You use your own. So I can use whichever pedal I want today, and we're going to tune up. This is my Mindsinger Tempest, as you guys are well aware. In Delaware on this is my very favorite guitar that I own currently, and I will have this thing for a very long time. In fact, I don't think this is ever going to be, I don't think I'm ever going to part with this guitar. And thank you so much to Mindsinger Guitars for giving me a steal of a deal on this guitar. And it is now mine. I did it a couple payments, admittedly. But Daryl was cool with that. We worked it all out, and this thing is absolutely gorgeous. And I will show it off more often, but man, this is a beautiful guitar. It honestly deserves a much better guitar player. It really does. All right, let's see what we have here. All right, so we're getting started. We're getting started here, and we have the IR loaded up. This is the IR that I have chosen, and now we're gonna get this thing dialed in. There's a few amps in this one. There's the Metal BX 666. This was in sort of an original in-house creation by Igor back in the day. I actually had this weird feeling that the Metal BX 666 is actually the bare bones for the Crunk. But I don't think I am correct on that. In fact, I don't remember asking him whether or not that's true. I should. Let's see what we got here. Now we're going to turn the EQ. It is on. It's a fun, nice little 5-band that you can do a fun little scoop here. Let's see what we have. Whoa, 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 whoa. What? Anyways, tell me about your week. How was it? How was your day? How did you guys, did you have a bad week? You have a good week? I know some people having a bit of both at this point in time. So I'm noticing a pretty distinct lack of top end. Why am I at a 2? I just put new strings on this not long ago. There we go. That's the problem. All right, so let's see if we boost it up a little bit and see what happens. I've been liking this overdrive from VZ Tech. See, it's just okay. It's okay. I feel like it could do more. Let's see. No. Okay, so the Metal BX doesn't really do it for me. It never really did, to be honest with you. It's okay. But the shred button here is nice as well. It's never been the greatest, but it's something that's nice in here. Now we're going to use my favorite amp in here, which is the lead angle. This is a licensed angle, by the way. And we're going to get this one dialed in and see what happens here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on now. What's happening here? If you're not aware of what the angle E530 is, you are missing out. That is factual. You are missing out. So this thing is one of the all-time heavyweight champions of heavy metal and high gain preamps. This thing is a beast that many players used over the years on the road, paired with this wonderful angle power amp in a nice little tidy rack space with like a tuner or like I've seen it so many times. This thing was the go-to, and I believe still kind of is for a lot of different players. It was for the longest time the go-to for Obscura. It was the go-to for Tier and a number of other bands that I can't remember off the top of my head. Just we'll check it out on Equip Board at some point. And if you're in the chat, come on, guys, holler at us today. A little slow to start, and that's okay. Not a big deal. I'm just here to hang out today, looking for fun ways to kind of just goose the channel in the right direction. But that being said, we're also doing a stream about Brainworx today. And so not every one of our streams is going to be one of those streams that's designed to reach out to new audiences. This one is more designed so that people that find their way in here eventually maybe reach out for this and say, holy cow, these guys have some amazing stuff. And wait, I can get it for how much? So first step is going to be to get on the Plugin Alliance mailing list. That is first and foremost. Get on their mailing list. Why? Because you'll get free plugins for starters right off the bat. Just for signing the mailing list, you get a big package of free stuff. Big package of free stuff. And I'm not being paid. There's no paid promotion. I've been on their beta team for maybe a decade now, and that's why I've got the NFRs from them, is because I'm part of their beta team, and I have been for a long time, and it's fun, really fun beta team to be part of. But anyhow, getting back to it, these are just some of the best plugins out there, and you might not know it because they've they are not obsolete, but they have fallen a little bit out of what we call the industry standard. And let's discuss that a little bit. That sounds terrific. Let's turn off the EQ, or that's actually on now. Wow, that sounds terrific. That's off. Contour. Got a little bit of a mid bump. And this thing is fantastic. It just is. It still absolutely kicks ass. Absolutely crushes. Still. Then you can also use this is your high and low pass filter right here. And we don't really need those, but I mean, we could just snazz it. I don't like to put any post-processing on anything for you guys, but in this case, it's right in the plugin. So why don't I crank this up to 120, where I would probably start, give or take, if I was recording something. Really depends on you. And really, I would say use your ears more than your eyes, but some people might disagree. And you can see why bands you can just hear by my low-level garbage playing right now that this is definitely the something that the guys from, you can hear that Obscura tone. And I don't want to hear anything about Obscura and these stolen songs and all that. We don't have to get into that. But what we will talk about a little bit is the tone. We can talk about the tone The tone of Obscura is just tight as a drum. And there are a lot of bands out there. This is one of those pieces of gear that once you get to know it, and it's like if you hear it enough, you hear this piece of gear enough, it starts to be one of those pieces of gear you can pick out on a recording because the tone is very unique. You can also find the E530 in several other plugins over the years. There is the TSC X50 that has the U530 in it. You've got Amp Hub that's got a U530, an E530 rather. Then you've got the Mercurial Audio U530, which is, in my opinion, the best that's ever existed based on that piece of gear. Again, another company that I think we're way overdue doing something, pardon me, on Mercurial Audio. Speaking of unboxing, guys, we have a treat tomorrow. We have a treat. Ready? Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Are you ready for this? Tomorrow. Hopefully I get the time. I don't know that I'll get the time to install these, but either tomorrow or on next Friday. Dun, 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 dun. Thanks so much to Fishman. Thank you very much to Nate at Fishman for sending these wonderful Fishman Mick Thompson signature set over to me. It's wonderful of him. These things look sick. I'm just gonna have a look right here. What's the cover like? Is this oh, it's like sick. Cool. It's like guys, check this out. It's like a mat. Almost like it's actual, like, feels like real metal. You know how Fishman pickups, some of them have that really touchy finish on them where if you touch it with anything, it's an immediate, you can see it like you gouged it with a full-on, like a screw or a nail. I had this one set of Fishmans that, oh my goodness gracious, it was like I just touched it with the edge of a screwdriver and it was like, damn, and it's like this big hack on it. So we're going to try those out at some point very soon. Rudy Castillo, haven't seen you in a bit. What's with the weird new name? Johnny Cecil? I'm here. Johnny Cecil, is this your first time on the stream? If it's your first, let me know. If I think this is your first time chatting with us today. Let me know. Or is it? As for pickups in this MFing guitar, this is a wonderful set. You guys can check this out. Actually, before I show it to you, I'm going to do the due diligence of cleaning between the strings, as any good demo artist should tidy up their guitars a little bit. There's not a lot of dust on it because it lives in a case, but my other guitars, holy smokes, they're dusty. I have guitars that I haven't played. If I don't play a guitar in a couple weeks, it's like thick with dust. And I don't have cases for everything here. It kind of sucks like that, especially you go through a lot of strings like that too. Dude, I've been in the middle of moving and my chick has been in school. Is that what it says? School? No, Mick Thompson's never used anything but a 6. He hates extended range guitars. In fact, I literally remember an article in Guitar Worlds where he said something to the effect of, fuck 7 strings. And I'm just saying, I don't want to get like my, the algorithm. This thing with not swearing is never going to work. What I really need to do is just get to work on the pre-recorded stuff. The problem is every time I do one, I look at it and I hate it. And then I just go, boop. And I'm just like, I get frustrated. So until I figure this shit out, stuff. This is an old plugin. This plugin is probably 15 years old, and it has not been updated in a long time. And listen to how good it sounds. Wow. Whoa, the gain goes to 11. Wow, that sounds so good. Now let's try to take the gain down again if I'm looking for some clarity here. This riff's gonna sound decent like this. Wow. It's so clear. It's just so clear. Holy smokes, this sounds so good. It's a 15-year-old plugin with an IR that's probably 5 or 6 years old anyway. I think I changed my name to another I use. Jonathan Cars. There we go. Okay. Well, you know what? You could have been honest and said, yeah, it's my first time, bro. And then I would have given you something for free. Remember, first timers. Hey, Johnny Bean. Johnny Bean, is this is your first time? Are you any relation to Billy Bean? Like everybody with the same name is related. Although I have been asked if I was I have been asked, my last name is this similar to that of a certain celebrity, and a certain celebrity is, and I, we couldn't live further apart, and we are definitely of different. Different. We have different skin colors, and that's not to say that people with the same different skin colors can't be related. That's not what I'm saying here. But the likelihood of me being related to this human being is like smaller than that of Gwen Stefani stopping by my house to make me dinner. It's the same, roughly this. Like, why even ask? Hey, are you related to? And I just sort of stare and be like, what? Like, yeah, I just want to be like, yeah, absolutely. He's on my wife's side. No. Johnny Bean, thank you for the compliment. Man, this thing just cooks. It's absolutely awesome. Tone break. And this isn't going to be the tone break you guys think it is. It's just every time there's a song and I like the tone a lot, I just like to show it to you guys. I don't know why. This tone's great. I don't know why I love it so much. That's gorgeous. This is Gob, by the way, a countryman. One thing about this band, Gob, if you've never heard of them, I wouldn't be surprised because they're not super huge outside of Canada. One thing about this band is they have always had one of the greatest live guitar tones I've ever heard in my entire life. And we got to do it. My old bands have played with them a whole pantload of times, and each and every single time they sounded incredible with a blend of Marshall and Soldano on the same stage. And that is a wonderful blend. If you guys are out there and you're wondering which two amps you should blend, try blending your average 800 or Plexi or Super Lead with a SLO 100. Excuse me. I still like to whip out the old Lepoux 456 You know what? We recently exposed that one. We did an angle stream, I think like about, I don't know, 6 to 8 months ago or something, where we did that. We pulled that one out and we put it up against some of the beefy boys, and it couldn't swing with them. It was finally one of the amp sims over there at Le Poulin that finally got put out of, got pushed out of the ring. And that's surprising. Although there are still a bunch of those, like the hybrid. The hybrid is still absolute mangler, man. That thing was still one of the best plugins out there for solos, leads, lead parts, little lead breaks, whatever it is you're doing for any lead guitar. Try the Poulin Le Pou hybrid. Excuse me. This just, again, we got stuck here because this sounds really good. But there's a bunch of other amps in here. You've got your modern rock, which is this is a Mesa Boogie. I think it's a Road King. Is it a Road King? I want to say it's a Road King. I could be wrong though. Let's see. This still sounds very good, guys. This still sounds super good. Wow. Josu Cruz. Are you, you have to be the same fella that I was speaking, the same you are a creator, correct? I'm not sure why my English words in my brain can't put two things together right now, but you must be the same fella that yes. Are you or are you not a creator? Yeah, absolutely. This is me. This is the same fella that you talked to about, plugins and creator and creations and all that jazz. It's nice to see you. Awesome. I love when there's a bunch of the creators I work with on the AmpSim Universe Instagram. By the way, if you don't know, we have an Instagram, and that Instagram is 100% different than this. It's not just an Instagram that I use as a vehicle to show clips of live streams and promote this. It's something completely different. Is that if you are a creator and you work with me on any project, I give you the plugin, you create what you'd like, and then we share your work through our Instagram. And we recently also hit 500, which was nice. 500 people on our Instagram, and that's cool because we've never promoted it. That's probably like the third time I've mentioned it in a stream that we have an Instagram. So yeah, if you're curious, that's what we do over there. If you're a creator, get at me. The ampsimuniverse@gmail.com, or hit me up and slide into my DMs on Instagram. You're welcome to, no problem. I sometimes am a little bit lagged to respond on there, as many of the creators may curse my name occasionally, because sometimes it takes me 3 or 4 days or a week to get back to people, depending on how busy I am. But yeah, Josu, welcome to the channel. What we do here is a bit different than over there. What we do here is that we just use plugins. We go over all kinds of plugins, everything, kind of in the AmpSim universe. And when I say AmpSim universe, I think of all the things that orbit around AmpSims. Think of all the different things. Yes, I know that would technically be a galaxy. Calm down. But I don't want to call it the AmpSim galaxy. It just sounds better being the universe. You know what I mean? So essentially, all the different things that revolve around AmpSims, like drum software, like pickups, like guitars, like, right down to machine heads and patch cables, headphones, all the different things that we talk about here, plus stuff that's well off the menu, which is also probably something about our channel that people may or may not like, because we talk about wrestling, video games, movies, and things of that sort. But I think that's just going to be a Friday thing where we kind of just be loose around the edges and talk about whatever we want. And Saturdays are going to be a little bit more focused on things like tone chasing Having, as you guys know, in the past, we've had a lot of guests in the chat here. We've had some really cool guests here, as right down to members of Devil Driver, and we've had Bryce Van Hoosen here. We've had all kinds of fun people. Every developer has been in here. That was so far. We've had everyone in here to talk to us. So we're looking to do more of that, because those streams seem to go over really well, where we can they're not on screen with me. They're not even interrupting. They're just in the chat and they're answering your questions while I'm sitting here blibber blabbering. And they're answering my questions as well. So it's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool because we actually have... It's pretty cool because we actually have low-key... I don't like to... And I don't think he's here right now, so I can gush a little bit. Low-key, guys. We actually have one of my very favorite musicians on Earth. And one of the musicians that is responsible, almost solely responsible, for me picking up a guitar and starting a band. That human being is actually in our streams frequently. And it's super rad to have people like that in our streams, people that I just like, that I respect. And I would say everyone, a lot of staffers in here as well. So if you're curious and you have any questions whatsoever about the plugins I'm using, throw them in the chat. If I don't get to it immediately, one of the staffers, Pedro, it's Bo, Eddie, and anybody that happens to be in here, they're all going to get to you. Someone's going to jump at you, and it's going to be great. We have nothing but the most experienced human beings on this planet, on this team. There is nothing we cannot answer. Absolutely nothing, unless it's something we literally can't because it's under an NDA or something that's just like trade secrets and stuff. Like, we can't do that. But if you have questions, throw them at us. Even if it's not related to the product at hand, throw the questions in the chat. You may be surprised. You get a fun discussion going with us, and we'll keep it going. Now, let me get to the chat here. Johnny Bean didn't get back to me. He didn't get back to me. I still whip out the... Okay, sorry, we're back there. Playing my new guitar all week. Gotta say, I'm a fan of the carbon fiber guitar. What is your new guitar? Is it an Aristides? Is it an Aristides? Aristides? Aristides. Aristides. What the fuck was that? Entombed AD guitar player? You want that? Hold on. You want that? We can do that. Hold on. Let's see if we can do it on the spot. All right, let's see what we got here. Yes. Hold on, guys. We could actually do this. We could make this happen on the spot. You want Gilherm? You got Gilherm. See if we can do this. I just need to give him the channel. I got to send him the channel link. Your channel. Sharesies. So I can do it all on my phone. I know you guys aren't sitting here watching me so that I can just sit on my phone, but just give me a sec here. I'm on live stream. All right, guys. And we're good. And here we go. Let's see what we got. See what we can do. Okay, I'm back. So this is the modern rock, and this thing is doing modern rock. Say you wanted to do modern hard rock, Godsmack to Nickelback to, even punk rock or really anything. This is... Let's crank it. See what it's got. Now let's get a little bit gentler with it and try something like the Unify preamp free from Aurora DSP. I just realized my level was quite low. Wow, that sounds super good. 15-year-old plugin. And so you don't want to be one of those people that sleeps on old plugins. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that sleeps on old plugins just because it's older. It's not video games, dude. These are plugins. Plugins are not video games. No matter how much you'd like to treat them, and certain fan bases like to treat them as video games, these are not video games. They have more shelf life than you think. I even heard someone say, I once heard someone say, I don't use Fortin Nameless Suite anymore because it's just too out of date. Good God. Imagine being that entitled. Just imagine. Imagine being that entitled. And then when it's not, when it's out of date, going on to a user group or going on to a post and just sitting there hammering the company every time. Why don't you update it? Why don't you update Nameless? Why don't you update it? And just people just nattering and nattering and nattering. That shit doesn't, it's not necessary. It just isn't. To have every single solitary possible feature, everything baked into your to every suite is just not feasible. And so people, I really do believe that to start saving money and to start maybe getting outside the box and opening their mind a little bit, I think people need to learn how to use a DAW and learn how to build your own signal chain. It's not hard. It really isn't. If you can put pedals on a pedal board together with cables and understand the inner workings of a signal chain and which pedals should go where, and they make it pretty obvious in suites. They show you the signal chain right in front of you. So you should know, you should have a relative idea of how to put together a signal chain left to right. Well, left to right is the same as top to bottom, so it's really not that difficult. So if you're out there and you're struggling with building a signal chain, I can promise you, it's not necessary. You can come in here and we will help you out. It's not hard. It's not like reading, learning a new language, for example. Learning how to use a DAW is not tough, especially if you get an easier DAW, and there are a lot of them out there. And there's I can see he's online, but I've got no response yet, so we'll see. Brain Dead Texas? Are you different than our other Brain Dead? I don't know if this is the same Brain Dead, Pedro. I think it's a different Brain Dead. We might have two Brain Deads. Brain Dead. I listened to that song. It actually came on the other day. It actually came on. Brain Dead by the Assorted Jelly Beans. And as soon as I heard that chorus, I'm just like, I wish I had one of those little buttons. I wish I had that big stream deck that all the pros have with like 900 buttons. And you're just like, yeah. And it just like sound clips attached to each one. That would be beautiful. You're the same one. Okay. I wanted to make sure before we've had, what's with all the new names today? We have 3 users that had different names today. What the hell? What the hell's going on with you guys? Are you guys hiding from your FBI agent? That's really loud, isn't it? Do you guys like it? Is that loud? Should I bring it down a little? Wonderful sound. This is a wonderful plugin. All right, let's get past this 15-year-old rock rack. But again, we could sit on it longer. There are more amps. There is a jazz chorus in here, the first jazz chorus, and it was the only Roland jazz amp for a long time. And here I am slouching again. Slouching. We've also got we've got the 800 here as well, which is nice. And so there's a bunch. Honestly, you can find this plugin for $5 during sales. Watch your Black Fridays, watch your Christmas, watch all of your holidays, because every holiday Plugin Alliance will have a big ass sale. And the guitar stuff always gets just blown right out the back door. I'm telling you right now, if you take $100, $100 will probably get you 5 plugins. Probably. And you get on their mailing list, you get like 5 or 10 free plugins. And then once a month or once every couple of months, they'll email you and say, hey guy, we're going to give you $50 towards your next order. Yeah. And you'll just be, wait, what? You're going to give me $50? Yeah, it's basically you go and you get a free plugin. What? So just get on that Plugin Alliance mailing list. Again, it's not a paid promo at all. Actually, the guy that used to run Brainworx Plugin Alliance was an asshole. Just say it straight up. The guy was an asshole. But everybody else that I've met there is just wonderful human being. I think YouTube did something because you didn't. Ah, okay. I wonder if does it change channel names? The Pepsi. So today's a great day for me. I'm so excited to be able to share this. I've been waiting for this day since I was 11 years old. The Blue Jays, my beloved, lifelong loved Toronto Blue Jays have made it to the World Series. I'm so excited. I'm just beyond excited. And I can't wait to see how it goes. It's like they're against the behemoth, the big money behemoth, Los Angeles Dodgers. But we'll see. It really could be interesting. It really could be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. Honestly, at this point, they've made it to the World Series. They could win or lose, and I'm still just going to enjoy every moment. I would vastly prefer if they won, but even just getting them there is just, woo, very exciting for me. Anyways, let's get off this plugin now, man. Wow, it's so good, though. Is there anything out there anybody wants to hear or see used, this one here would be my next choice before I get the next request. I'm telling you guys right now, this thing is legit. Is there not a... Oh, there's not even a size. Okay, that's the other downside to some of these plugins is that you cannot resize it. What you see is what you get. And this guy right here is one of the most absolutely versatile plugins that I've ever used. This might be one of the most versatile amp sim out there. This thing is the Angle Retro Tube. This is the E765 RT Retro Tube. And the other one, this thing is insane. I don't know that we'll get to this today because this amp is so friggin' complex that it almost warrants its own stream altogether to get all the way through. This is the Victor Smolsky E646, and you can get this from Plugin Alliance as well. They had the Angle, and as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, they still have some. I don't know if they still have a relationship with Angle or not. It went to the Angle license, of course, jumped over to Soft Tube. It jumped over to them, and as far as I've been told, the Angle license could be jumping again, but I don't know for sure. Either way, whether it's Soft Tube or another company, it'd be really nice to see some more Angle plugins. It'd be really nice to see because Soft Tube only did I think they did the Savage, and it was okay, but this Savage is better. I'm going to be honest with you. So let's check out the Angle 7.6. I tried baseball, but I was freaking terrible. Ended up playing basketball. And you're in, is it TX? You're in Texas, right? Really? A state like Texas, though, being bad at baseball just means not being incredible at baseball. Am I right? A state like that, amazing baseball players are crowned at like 6 years old. They're all phenoms, from what I understand it. I had a friend of mine that went down to play in college down there, and said it was terrifying how good the ball players were down in Texas. Then again, football, the same thing down in Texas. I was pretty good at, I was not good at football, and I was very good at baseball. I will toot my own horn on this. That is a sport that for a long time I was very good at. And I worked hard to be good at it. So now this is tiny. And it has no resize. Huh? I can't see it. Okay, so we're going to go to the, it's got a clean channel that is, by the way, quite nice. So let's go to this clean / rockish channel. And I'll show you guys how sweet this channel is, actually. I'm not going to get too crazy with the master power soak. Okay, I'm going to go back to it. Turn off the pedal for a second here. That's And so this is like the channel 1, the gainier, the lesser gain channel, but listen to how crisp this is. Guys, please don't shit on me for how horribly I played that. I did my best. It's been a long time since I played that riff, so just cut me some slack, okay? All right. I can't play that for shit. Sounds terrific. It's been about 30 years since I played that on a guitar. And if I butchered that, I don't care. We can all agree that sounds pretty damn good, and you can get it clean as well by turning the gain back. So this is versatility, absolute versatility. It sounds terrific. A little bit low on the volume though, if I'm being honest. All right, let's go to the gainier of the two channels here. Definitely got a tune. Gonna be a sick sports weekend. I have the finale. This is gonna sound like gobbledygook to you guys if you don't know disc golf, and that's okay. But this weekend, as you guys, some of you are aware, I am a disc golf tournament manager and league manager. League, we'll call it a tournament director or a league director rather. Keep thinking of it the other term. And we're doing our finals this weekend. And folks, my goal as a disc golfer is to make what's called 900 rated. And I'm just points away from 900. And it's tough to get to 900, but for me, it would be 1,000 is possible for professionals. So just to give you an idea, 1,000 is professionals. 900 is a very good amateur rating. And I'm very excited to see if I can pursue that this weekend. It's our final thing. We're doing this big thing, a big blowout. So It's not likely I'm going to be here. My mom's birthday as well tomorrow, so it's very unlikely I'm going to be here tomorrow, just to be straight up with y'all. But Sunday is a lot more likely. We'll see. But either way, very busy weekend. I'm just trying to see if, so you guys aren't wondering this or that. If I'm not on by like 4:45 in the next couple days, I'm probably not going to be on. So I appreciate you guys as always. And if I do miss this weekend, as you guys are aware, I always try to make it up the following week on one of the days at 4:30. So hopefully we can get that done. Four people. What did I say? What did I do wrong? Wow. Early guitar break in Amplitude 2 had a Roland Jazz chorus amp. Oh, nice. Man, Andy did that. It screwed with your nickname too. I didn't notice that was you for a second. By the way, Andy's also staff. And he has a whole other realm of knowledge. That's the great thing about this staff is everybody here has their own area of expertise. And then some of us are more like, just jack of all trades, master of none. That's kind of like myself, where I have a lot of little bits and pieces. I would say if my expertise is anything, it's been like marketing and artist relations and stuff. Yeah, Texas is obsessed with football. Yeah, football's huge. Yeah, definitely. All those shows and all. Whenever you see a football movie, it's always Texas. It's fucking always Texas. Football movies, football shows, Friday Night Light, Texas. Varsity Blues, Texas. We can keep going down that list. Just keep going down that list. Texas, 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 Texas. A lot of shows. So yeah, definitely. Football is huge all over the States. But yes, definitely in Texas, it's huge. But I've heard hockey, of all things, hockey is actually getting quite large in Texas. It has for the last bunch of years, which is really cool. You're welcome, by the way. All right. So I'm going to hit the gain boost and right now. First, I'm going to hit the Unified preamp. You see how much gain that has as it is. Perfect for thrash metal and stuff like that. Tech death and things of that sort. We're going to crank it all the way up for a second. Here's what we've got before we hit the gain boost. But then we hit the gain boost. We're going to dial it back first to about 5. Hit the gain boost. And so you can just keep cranking up the gain on this thing and it'll keep giving you reasonable and solid results. This is the Retro Tube 100, the RT 765 from, again, Brainworx Plugin Alliance. Check it out. It goes on sale often. And again, this plugin's probably, I don't know, probably 10, 12 years at minimum for this plugin. Minimum has to be about that. So let's get rid of that. We've got the Savage. We've got a few other plugins coming up. I'm going to take a quick break right now. If there's something on this list, I have the Rocker Gain. This one I'm not really interested in getting into today because I'm not really armed with the correct guitar. But if you're out there and you're looking for something that'll give you that White Stripes, Queens of the Stone Age, this thing can do doom, it can do rock, this is an odd duck. If I've ever called an amp sim an odd duck, it's probably always this one right here because this one is seriously one of the strangest amp sims out there. It's been compared, the Chandler, if you're curious, the Chandler GAV 19T has been loosely compared, it's my understanding in doing some research, loosely compared to amps like this Selmer, which is sort of this old ass amp that pretty much no one but Wes Borland and a handful of other people it's one of those like legendary amps, and you just don't find them unless they're either beat up or they're extraordinarily expensive. This is my understanding that the Chandler is sort of an homage to that. But we're going to take it out of the list because I'm not really after those tones today. We've got the Herbert, the VH4. These two together won my personal plugins of the year. Honest Amp Sim Reviews. I think it was like 2019, something like that. It was the plugins of the year. These two, the staff choice between the small staff that we had at that point, we all voted that these were just immaculate. We've got this is another one I don't think I'll get into today, but again, a very unique bird, super full of tone. Also there's a lot of go slow. That's all I'm going to say. There's a lot of value and a lot of headroom in all of these controls. And there's a lot of channels and a lot of features. So this is one of those amps where I would say go slow and just explore things piece by piece if you can. And if you have a large monitor, that'll probably help you out, because if you have old ass eyes like mine, you're going to be looking at the controls going, what? What does that say? I need progressives. It's a thing. All right. And when we get back, here's a couple of the other ones, by the way. There's the Bucks and Betty and the DS40, something else. Two other ones, maybe we'll know. I'm not sure if we'll get into today or not. Fooch Overdrive Supreme, Fooch Train 2. These are based loosely on a Dumble and a Trainwreck amp. So I can't remember what the actual amp is, but there's these old amps called Trainwreck amps. Kind of looks like they're made out of an old dresser. Very odd looking amps. Again, holy grail, very rare. So this company, Fooch, it's not, I know what it looks like. It's not Fox. It's Fooch. Anyways, both of these are sick to use for like rock purposes, vintage kind of sounds, really good for chicken picking, country rock, fantastic amps for that. And then lastly, I've got the Pete Thorne 100. This will definitely be getting a look today. The SE 100, which may or may not get a look today, probably will. We're going to get rid of the Friedman. And I've also got the rocker gain here, by the way, which is this fella right here. Very good sounding amp, non-licensed. And I remember seeing this one always makes me laugh. There was an ad for this one at one point on Facebook, and someone's like, LOL rocker gain. What kind of knockoff crap is this? And just like, there are a lot of people out there that don't understand the whole licensing thing and how it works with plugins. So that's something, if you're curious and you're out there and you want to know how the licensing works and why there are so many parody products out there with silly parody names, and are they any good? A lot of people have those questions, and we're happy to answer those for you anytime. Give me about 2 or 3 minutes. I will be back at you. We're going to be here today, probably for about another little bit anyways, and we'll see where we get to. I'm excited. Hopefully you're excited, and man, see where the day goes. Cheers, everybody. Yes. Yes. How's everybody doing today? My name is Tyler, and welcome to the Amp Sim Show, as I may or may not have introduced at the top. Episode 160 something. All right. See what we got in here. What is this? I saw something about. Oh, I grew up in Central America. Baseball is like a national sport in Nicaragua. I'm sorry, I'm not going to make fun, but every single solitary time I've heard the name of the country, Nicaragua, it makes me go. It goes straight to Beavis and Butthead, where he's like, "I am from Nicaragua. I am Cornholio." Fuck. If you want to get me laughing, Cornholio is a quick way to do it. That would be like if I had some, "We're going to pay you $1 million if you can get through this Don't Laugh challenge." I'd be like, bring it at me. And if the first thing is Cornholio, I'm done. It's over. It's a wrap. I'm not winning. Fuck, this song is amazing. Rudy, I think football is bigger in regions of America. Yeah, sorry. Absolutely. Ton, my mistake. We're talking about American football. You know what? Seriously, it makes me feel bad as a sports fan and as an intelligent human being. Why the hell? And why would they do that? Why would they go? They know there's a sport called football already. They know it. They know the person who invented football, American football, knew full well there's a sport called football on the other side of the world. They already knew that. It was being played in North America at the time. Long before American football was being played in North America. Soccer, aka football. And so all of a sudden, can you imagine that awkward moment? Imagine that for just a minute at that point in time. And at the point where they invented American football. These dudes are just like, yeah, from now on, we're not calling that football anymore here. And people that have been playing it for however many years are like, what are you talking about? Yeah, we're not going to call it that anymore because we're inventing our own football now. What do you mean our own football? This is football. This is football already. We're kicking a ball with our feet. Oh no, we're going to call it soccer instead. But just here. They're not going to do it over there. We're going to do it here. Okay. That's weird. Yeah, it's super weird, but we're going to do it anyways. You couldn't possibly think of another name for the sport, even though you're not even using your foot. Your foot literally touches the ball almost like a handful of times a game. It's what are we talking about here? Can you call it anything else? Anything else? Liberty Ball. Fuck, I don't know. Call it anything else. But no, here we are. I hate talking to European people about it and just being like, do you watch football? Fuck. I don't know what to call it. American football. It's like people that find the need to call hockey ice hockey. As if there's another kind of hockey. Oh, there's field hockey. No, there isn't. It's not close. Can we... Damn it. But it existed first, I'll admit. All right. Rugby, eh? Wow. So we're checking out the rocker game. And I've got IR through IR right now. No, I don't. So this sounds sick already. We haven't done jack shit. We haven't done jack shit to this. It sounds awesome already. Okay, we got now just because I had to crank that other one up. I had to chill this one out. So this one actually has a resize option, which is nice. Let's bring this back. No, I don't want that song on here anymore. I don't mind Scour, but that song's not making me happy at all. Not at all. This is amazing. This sounds incredible. And I've always used this one for Doom, mostly for Doom, and like I use it for baritone stuff with fuzz and whatnot, but I don't typically reach for it for rock, although it was designed for rock. I just haven't really reached out to it in that way. Oh, it sounds so good. It sounds so good. You guys ever have one of those music moments that sticks with you forever? This is the first blast beat I ever heard in my entire life. That type of blast beat. Wanted to share that with you. I'm not sure why. Wowzer. Sounds good to me. Really good, in fact. I don't know what do you guys think of this tone? How do you like it? Do you not like it? Is it garbage? Is it hot garbage? Let me know how you feel about it. Do I need to just go back to the drawing board? Do I need to quit? Just quit trying to get good tones, man. You don't know what you're doing. Nice. Wowzers. This sounds good. So when I see these people, when you get the sooners, and you see people that are clamoring for a new orange plugin. I need it. Give me a new orange. Or give me orange. And then you're like, hey, like, if you don't get the orange that you're after, there's some pretty good orange plugins out there. I don't care about anything you're saying to me. I only want it from my favorite developer. I don't care about any of this other crap you talk about. This is all garbage. Peasant plugins. Anyways, this company has been around for a minute. They've been doing high quality stuff for a minute or two, and Brainworx will never steer you wrong, except for if you buy the Friedman HBBE plugin, HBBE. That particular Friedman is just way off. It just is. Friedman amps, and I'll explain. Friedman amps are brighter than the sun. They are designed to be very, very, very bright amps. With like so bright that they leave you so much headroom that like you couldn't possibly need all of it. There's no way you're going to need to turn like the presence and the treble and all their bright features and all their other mods and stuff that you get on those amps. You're not going to do that. You're not going to need that because you're going to make a mess and it's going to sound horrible and it's going to sear a hole in everyone's ears within the 100 yards. You don't want that. So when I say it's off, I mean, when I do that to the plugin, it still sounds like there's a moving blanket over the cabinet. And when I tried my own cabinets, IRs, tried all your own stuff, and it still sounds very, very, very dark. And that is, to me, is a miss. And that is when I always say it, that licensed plugins are not always the best plugins. And that is an absolute example that you can post you put it in a frame to remind yourself that licensed is not always better. When you see the parody names, that just means the company that's making that plugin does not have the licensing to put the name of the actual product and use the likeness and the actual logo, etc. They can make it look real close. And that's perfectly fine. And you cannot copyright or trademark a circuit. I think is the way that it doesn't really matter. So that's why you can make a plugin based on something, and that's perfectly fine as long as you don't use the logo or use all of the other, the absolute likeness rights. For a while, Mezaboogie actually had a license against plugin developers using the diamond plate. And I don't know if it went to court or if finally some plugin developer just said, screw this. They're not going to put a copyrighted trademark on diamond plate. They use it everywhere. And then just did it and said, come on, sue me then. See what you got. And then everyone followed suit and started using the actual diamond plate. But that's why I had heard, because the first time I saw a rectifier plugin, it looked weird. It didn't look like tread plate or diamond plate as it's typically called. It didn't look like that. And I had seen a lot of it because I worked on a lot of it. It didn't have that look. And it's always the look that you look at a rectifier and go, whoa, oh, look at that. It's so cool. It looks so tough, because diamond plate's tough. But then I figured out, I did some searching and asked around. This was years and years, well over 10 years ago now. And one of the developers said to me simply that Mezaboogie has sent a cease and desist to someone and said, no, not allowed to do that, because only IK Multimedia at the time was allowed to do that. And it was the thing. And then, I don't know, somewhere along the line, someone just said, I don't care anymore. Come at us. It's diamond plate. Long story long. Now you know that. This thing in particular, as you'll know, is called the rocker gain rather than the rocker verb. And it sounds way better than many other plugins that have this name. Especially, there's one licensed take on the rocker gain. I believe it's in one of the Amplitude versions. And you can go ahead and put the licensed against the non-licensed, and you can watch the rocker gain here. Take that one and just go. That's what happens when you put good plugins up against some of the older licensed stuff. It might have the name on it, but let's say it with me one last time before we get on another topic. License does not always mean better. These days, it's a different story, and we're going to get into that in just a second. And I'll tell you why. This thing sounds terrific. Thank me for what? Oh, sorry. I thought it said thank you, Tyler. I was like, what did I do? Johnny Cecil. Anyone try the PSP AudioWare Wobbler plugin? Me? Braindead. The No Amp Mocha Fix Audio is a free Sans Amp plugin. There's a few free Sans Amp plugins. Sepultura. Use the orange rocker verb, right? I don't know. There's a lot of a lot of bands, artists that use orange amps that aren't known to use orange. Does that make any sense? I don't know if that makes any sense to you. There's a lot of example, Tim Comerford from Rage Against the Machine. That was the other band that came out and basically nuked my stream. I am finding out there's certain bands that just do not want their music in the background of anything. So we'll stay off the beaten path if we can. But anyways, Tim Comerford uses orange, I guess, or was using orange for a while. No idea. There's a lot of guitar players that have kind of gone in and out of orange over the years that did it pretty seamlessly, which is odd. And I'll be honest, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. Unless there's fuzz involved, I don't like just an orange cabinet by itself. I like an orange cabinet blended with something else. But orange, like the PPC cabinets, 412s, I like it. I love them when it comes to fuzz and like more vintage sounds. But when it comes to like more modern sounds, I really prefer orange amps when paired with like a bigger, bolder cabinet, like say, actually like an Angle, like the one I'm using right now, or like a Mezaboogie oversize. I had a friend of mine here locally. His name is Evan. He had an orange rocker verb, and he used to run it with an oversized Mezaboogie 412 cabinet and just a tube screamer out front, and it sounded like the room was gonna collapse. Like the thing sounded so big, so powerful. It was an awesome sound. So yeah, that's something I would say that would be great to pair the like any orange amp plugin that you have that you know to carry a good level of quality. Pair it with a Mesa Boogie Oversize 412. If you don't have any packs based on that cabinet, there's a free one. You can get it right now. It's called God's Cab. It's from Wilkinson Audio. Wilkinson Audio. Everybody, Wilkinson Audio, God's Cab 412. It's a Mesa Boogie. It's free. You can go grab it for $0 along with all the other all the other IR packs they have are also free. Grab those as well while you're there. Stuff's pretty good. You're going to be surprised. Make your own blend type scenarios. You'll have to blend mics, but that is a free way to check out the blend of sound that I'm discussing for not a lot of money. That sounds terrific. Yeah, Red Wires as well. Man, nothing wrong with Red Wires. Another company whose name has kind of fallen by the wayside a little bit. But if you go and get the Red Wires big box, you're going to have a whole lot of fun if you're the type of person that likes to blend two files. And if you own something like STL Tones Libra, you are going to be making your own blends until the end of time. If you have the big box plus Libra, you can make your own blends with up to, I think it's like, is it 8? I think it's 8 different IRs. You won't need 8. I would suggest only using max 3 to 5. But you can do that and really come up with just amazing tones of your own unique blends. So I strongly suggest checking out STL Tones Libra and going and buying something like the Red Wires big box. And they give you such a mad fat stack of mics and positions that you can go ahead and just, it's like, say you're a fan of Neural DSP plugins and you know your go-to blend of mics, you could just make your own blends. You know what I mean? Like every time I grab for the 57 and the 421 and I put them exactly here and here. Well, you find those positions in packs and you make your own blends so that you don't even really need to reach for anything. You don't have to trust an IR section anymore. Remember, if it's a bad IR section, bad cabinet section, that plugin, the coding, all the programming that's gone into the amp itself kind of goes to shit. So always make sure if you don't like a plugin when you first crack it open, try it with your own selection of your favorite IRs and see if maybe that saves it. In a lot of cases, you're going to be surprised how many more miles you can get out of a plugin, how much you might enjoy it when you come up with your own IR blends that you can just throw at every plugin you get to see if the quality is there or not. If you're in the chat, do say hi, do say hello. My name is Tyler. I'm easy to reach. I usually do read the entire stream. The chat. And if you weren't here earlier, I got a package in the mail today. It's actually just because when I'm getting certain things sent to me, I get them sent to my mother's business. My mother sells a lot of very floral and fragrant things in this business. So any parcel or package that goes there that has sat there longer than 40 seconds is coming back to me that with the smell of her store. And while each of these individual fragrant things smell nice on their own, when you blend them together, it tends to be like, pow! So anyways, this is the parcel that came from said place. I'm going to be installing these this weekend. In between all the different stuff I have to do, I could not be more excited. They have this nice brushed nickel. It looks like brushed nickel on this, guys. And I don't think I've seen a Fishman set. Check this out. Just like see if I can focus on that. You see, it's a brushed nickel or almost a brushed gunmetal look. That's pretty damn sick. Those look awesome. Very, very excited. No color on the stripe either. No color. It's just gray. That's it. Love it. Yes, Pulse 2. Sorry. That's another one that you can use. Is Pulse 2 free? I think it's free. Is it free? It might be free. Who knows? Nice. Okay, so Pulse 2, forget what I just said. Well, Pulse, you could grab either one. Honestly, Libra is sick. And if you like Pulse 2 and you want to just elaborate on that, and you want to go a little further than Pulse 2 can go, check out Libra. That's what I'll say. If you enjoy blending, and boy, you'll enjoy blending. Once you really get the hang of it and figure out how to do things, you will not be able to live without your own IR blends. You just won't. Don't sell them. I don't even think it's legal to give them away. I don't know how that works. I know it's absolutely not okay to just give away and trade your paid IRs, by the way. If you didn't know that, check your electronic user agreement. You may be interested. It's probably not a good idea, so don't. But yeah, I'm not sure about sharing your own. I don't know. I'm gonna say no. I don't know. I'm gonna ask a couple of my IR mentors. We'll ask them, because Eddie's our expert, but he doesn't really sell IRs. So I'm gonna ask a couple of the developers that sell IRs how they would feel about that. So I have an absolute researched answer to give you. I'm gonna say probably not a good idea. Definitely don't sell them. But as far as, giving them to your friends to try, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's probably not a good idea. But again, I'm gonna ask just because I want clarity. They can't do anything legally if you buy them. I don't think you can sell them. I'm not saying that. I don't think there's no IR company's gonna sue you for simply trading an IR to your friend. But as far as putting them online and saying, hey, I blended 5 of these red wires and this is the file, and you have to you can just take it for free. I don't know. That doesn't sound like a good idea to me. But anyways. Plus, IRs are reasonably priced. If there's something you like, tell your friends about it. Don't give it to them. Tell your friends about it. Tell them to go look for it. Support your favorite IR developers, because I can promise you they're not making a lot of money off these things, and this is a labor of love for all of these people. Even the best of the best of the best IR companies are not making their big bucks. They're not making huge dollars on these things as far as it goes. It's not something, like I said, it's a labor of love. I don't know if you can just put them up online for free though, Rudy. That you wouldn't be able to just put it up on something like ToneHunt 3000 and be like, hey, here's this library I purchased from Redwires or whomever. I don't think you're going to be able to do that. You know what I mean? That's definitely not a good idea. Rudy, brother, I know the big companies, and I'm telling you they're not. I know all the big companies, and I can promise you they're not making fat cash off of IR packs. I can promise you that. How do I know that? Because shooting these things is not simple. It's not cheap. These mics cost a lot of money. The entire process takes a lot of time. And even companies like Ownhammer, their stuff is so reasonably priced. I can promise you that they are not making fat cash off of that. IR developers tend to make some good money on licensing to a plugin company that doesn't want to shoot their own IR pack. They make money that way. But typically a lot of these people have other businesses, like they run a studio or they build cabinets or something else. I can promise you one of the best in the business, Dr. Bonkers, he prices his stuff very affordably. And then you look at ML Sound Lab, who are one of the best in the business. That company, they probably made a decent amount of money on IR packs. But really, I think where ML started, that's why they got into selling plugins, because the plugins are, they're going to make more money than IR packs traditionally. And it sucks because, the bar was set back in the day quite low when it came to pricing. IR packs were designed to be like $15 or $20. And then, ML Sound Lab came in with these $30 and $40 or $50 packs. And things have gone up from there, but you tend, I don't know, Rudy. I'm going to have to, like, a couple of the bigger companies that I know of, and the humans that I know that run those businesses, I know they have side businesses and full-time jobs. So I mean, I can't speak for Ownhammer, but I know 2 or 3 of the other IR developers I know. That is a fact. I think they've all got, whether it be a completely unrelated full-time job or a related full-time job, they're all up to things. No, I mean, like, what I'm saying, Rudy, is like, you can't just download a plugin and give it away for free. Like, you can't just, like, I couldn't go and buy the new Neural DSP plugin when it comes out and make my own website and post it up there for free for everyone everywhere to take. That's pirating for sure. 100% that would be pirating. Without question. And there are several things in the electronic user legal agreement that do stipulate non-sharing outside of households. And you got to read those things, man. You should probably read that thing. They're a little more complex than you might think. And a lot of good law has gone into it too. These companies hire like legit companies to come up with their legal agreements. IRs is a different story. I don't know. It's definitely something that would not be appreciated because you're screwing the company out of a sale. So if you, my thought is, regardless of the legal parameters, just buy your IR packs. There's so much out there for free that's legally free and fair use that it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to steal IRs. As far as trading them with your friend low key, I mean, again, I don't think the companies appreciate it because, again, they're out of sale. But I've been in scenarios in the past where I have when people have asked me what an IR pack is like, there's been times where I've sent them a single file of like a single mic, single position file just for them to check out, and then they would end up inevitably going to buy the pack. So that I didn't mind doing, and I would always ask the developer first, hey, do you mind if I do this? And they'd be like, yeah, that's fine. And so it always worked out pretty good like that as well. Are you talking about Pulse? I know who built Pulse. Like, I know who coded Pulse for Glenn Fricker, if I'm not mistaken. And it is a great plugin. Yeah, it's solid. I just don't like it. I already have Nadir and I already have Libra, so it's like I just never really saw the purpose. You know what I mean? So anyhow, going back to it real quick here, as I haven't played a lot in the second half here much. This is the Rocker Gain. It sounds immaculate. It sounds terrific. It is one of my very favorite orange plugins on the market today, and I would highly, highly suggest that you check it out. It's something else. IR system plugin here. I don't know. I have no idea. Admittedly, I'm not the largest. I'm not a hater. Definitely not a hater by any means. But I'm not what you'd call the hugest fan either. I don't know if that makes any sense. Anyways, we're going with the Diesel Herbert now. I've not received any suggestions to speak of. And this is just one of those plugins that I think everyone needs. Oh, holy fuck, that sounds good already. Oh, we didn't even get into, I haven't even touched anything. It sounds so good already. Holy smokes. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun one. I can feel it now. We're going to get stuck on this bad motherfucker. It's going to happen. Oh my gosh. That sounds delicious. Delicious in every way. Quite nice. I'm very excited about this. Respect bass players nowadays. It's all MIDI. Music is dying in that right, man. Stop using MIDI bass. MIDI drums, I understand, especially if they're not locked to a grid. Like if you're using actual played MIDI and stuff, that stuff can be really fool people with it. Like really easily. It's one of those things that you can fool a lot of people with that these days. I'm telling you right now. But MIDI bass and MIDI drums at the same time, it just really makes for that robotic sounding that rhythm section, and that's just, you don't want your entire rhythm section locked to a grid. It just doesn't sound proper. It's I'm robots, I'm roboting, robot drums, robot mix, robot songs. Just if you can play guitar and you're serious about recording your own music, if you're dead serious and you love playing your own music and you love recording your own music, get a bass. Get a bass, invest the money. You can get a nice bass these days, made in China, $250, and replace the pickups as you go. Get a decent bass, get it set up nice, and learn how to play the bass. And when I say you can play guitar, you can play bass, I don't mean well. I mean, you're probably going to need to learn how to play the bass. There's playing the bass, and there's playing the bass. You know what I mean? Or there's, to say it different, there's playing the bass, and then there's being a bass player. So for many, many years, I was just playing the bass on my stuff. Didn't care. Wrote a cool bass line, lay it down, don't care. Bass goes in the closet till the next time I record. Don't care. Then I actually got into playing bass. I tried harder. I practiced lots. Bought nicer basses. And then I really fell in love with playing the instrument. So if you're out there and you're like, nah, I'm just gonna continue to use MIDI bass, it sucks because I can see the allure to using it for stuff like gent or really, really techie stuff. But the thing is, though, if you're trying to, it's like, I use, saying you use, MIDI bass because you can't play those bass lines. You're just writing stuff that's too tech. I just think that's a bit of a silly way to go. Sure, not everyone's going to be fucking Jared from Archspire. That's impossible. Can you imagine every bass player was that good? No. But I would suggest instead of going the route of getting a MIDI bass to try and sound like Jared, it's not going to. Simplify the bass lines, play them yourself. And that is going to make a wider and a bigger and a fatter sounding mix, because instead of everything being quantized, you're going to get those natural flams and natural, bleed over and stuff that you're not going to get with the robots. You're not going to get it. You're just not going to. I'm not an expert, but this sounds so good. This is the Diesel Herbert plugin from Brainworx, and you can get this one when it's on sale, folks. I'm telling you right now, when it's on sale, it's so cheap. Wowzers. And the coolest thing about being involved in plugin land and being involved in product development is I was working with an artist recently, and the artist said, I want a German amp. That was the specific. How about a German amp? That was it. That was the direction. How about a German amp? So we're like, yeah, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? What about that? What about this? Would you mind grabbing that? Anyways. No, thank you. So anyways, what the solution became was getting the third channel from a VH4 and adding the mid-cut feature from a Herbert, which is something that you can do in plugin land if you've got talented coders, programmers, etc., and good ideas. And this was a good idea. And the amp, which is not released yet, and the plugin is not released yet, but this is going to be, it sounds fantastic. The third channel in the VH4 is well known at being one of the coolest things ever. And then the other suggestion was like, okay, well, the gain is just not, it needs to just a little. So we decided, why not take this cool little gain boosty McBooster down here that you see in this plugin. The channel 2 on the Herbert has a neat little gain boosty McBoost, and I'll show you. I can illustrate it right here. So here's without. And here's with this little guy here. And I've on a tune. But still, you see that it is phenomenally handy. And so that got built in further, which was really cool. I can't say the artist or the plugin or the developer. I'm just saying that these are the kind of things that make it really fun to work in this particular industry, because you can talk to programmers and artists and suggest solutions. And this is another thing I feel like I'm pretty decent at, is working with artists to make their, their dream plugin, and at least getting the basics to the, getting everything started. And then, just you kind of pass the artist along to the developer, and then they just connect and connect and connect. Unless the developer is far too busy and does not have a wish. Some developers, I'm going to be honest, there's a couple that aren't really, they don't like doing any of the talking. They're like not interested. Don't want to talk. You do all the talking. It's fine. I don't want to. I want to deal with that because, for various reasons. So then it becomes about just handing specs and specs and specs and specs. No, thank you. Okay, I'm going to have to fix that. People are thinking I'm like Hassan. I'm not, why am I even saying no thank you? He's deaf. He's deaf. He doesn't hear me. I'm not like Hassan. I'm not abusing animals over here. When he cranks it up, this is a cat around the corner. He's got a ball in his mouth. And when he cranks it up, this whole house and neighbors can hear him, because he's deaf and he's trying to get the same sensation that he did playing with the ball in his younger days. Poor guy. So anyways, it's not really going to do anything. But when it starts to come through the microphone, it's like, remove the ball. And when you're buying an amp sim, make no mistake, the one thing that you should care about more than anything is how the amp sounds. In this case, we're using almost nothing but the amp itself. That's it. We're using our own everything else. Our own pedal, which is the unified preamp up here. This is free, by the way. You can get this from, this is without. And this is with. And pretty pedestrian settings on this is pretty much how I like to set it up. It's pretty easy going. And we're using our own stuff. Why is that a big deal? If you can get a better sound and a sound that's more you, why not get outside the box? Get outside of your suites, for F's sakes. Get out of the suites. Build your own. Learn how to build your own signal chains. Learn how to bypass things and add things to yourself. And I'm promising you, you will become less reliant on the suites, less reliant on all the various features of convenience that get added to them. And you just kind of start to, learn how to build your own sound. And that, I think, is very important. Speed it up a bit. All right, that's pretty cool. let's go to the next channel. And the mid-cut feature, by the way, is pretty sick. That is barely on right now. We're going to turn it off for a sec. So if you want to go all Hetfield or all, 80s thrash out of nowhere. I can't. Been too long. This is sounding great. I would say so anyhow. And so this mid-cut feature is really cool. I really like it, but I like it more when I crank the mids up a little bit. To me, it's strange if you scoop and scoop. You're almost scooping a little too much. So I would advise turning your mids up, 6 or 7, and then using the mid-cut feature, because it still gives you that full kind of, even though you're forcing it down, there's still a lot of fullness in those mids, and you can still hear that nice mid-cut as well. There's still a little more teeth to it through that mid-cut. I'll show you. So if I turn the mids down, so the mid-cut feature, the intensity's up, the level is up. Some people might actually really, if Manuel was here right now, he'd be like, bro, don't even turn those mids up at all. Then if I turn the mids up and turn up this intensity, you can still hear that mid cut through. Sorry, you can still hear that nice mid edge through the cut. It's just kind of taking it out rather here rather than up here. Anyways, how are you guys doing? Did I lose the chat? I might have lost the chat. No, I didn't lose it. I'm just really boring, I guess, today. Wah! What are we talking about here? Spectre Digital site? I don't know. Actually, no, I've not tried it. Didn't Glenn step away from Spectre? Didn't somebody step away from Spectre Digital or something? I can't remember. Prism is the plugin. I'm gonna have to check it out. The difference is that their subscription will give 100 of IR's option. All right, that's interesting. I'll have to check it out. I will. If there's a monthly subscription out there, I want to see what's what. Man, that is just pounding. Pounding. That's super old school thrash. I love it. That sounds really great. All right, let's go to the last channel here. This is the heavy channel, and we're gonna turn off the mid cut for now because I want to get some heavy stuff happening here. I almost like the channel, the gain boost channel too, actually. Yeah, I like it better. Yeah, let's crank that up instead. That's way better. Yeah, channel 2, I like it way better. All right, folks, we're getting close to the end of the day. What have we discovered today? old plugins once again, and we like to do this a lot. Why do we like to showcase older plugins? Well, there's a few reasons for that. Number one, because they're not obsolete. Features, things about them might be maybe lacking in comparison to what's become a very, very needy industry standard. Like the set of industry standards, like one developer does a doubler, then everybody's got to do a doubler. Why? Why do we all need a doubler? I have not understood. You cannot use it when you record. And if you are using it while you record, you are making a huge mistake in your recording. Don't use the doubler ever when you record. It's a standalone feature. I really don't understand it. It's just for jamming mostly. I kind of get it, but again, we're just relying, like, the tuner is necessary. The tuner, when everybody started demanding tuners in plugins, that was terrific. That was one of the best things that ever happened for guitar players. Freaking-tastic. And this plugin, by the way, I don't believe has a tuner. It's fine though, because we got a clip tuner on the end of the guitar. And I've got several free tuner options that I can load up if need be. Again, do you really need it? Maybe, I guess. Building a signal chain is fine too. So I think why we like to go over old plugins is while they may lack a few different features, what really matters is the amps, the IRs, and those are sound. You need to learn how to build a signal chain though. And another reason we like to mention is because plugins like this are available a lot cheaper than your average really solid suite. And not everybody has the money to buy every suite or should buy every suite that comes out from every company. It's impossible. You're going to go broke. You know what I mean? Like there's just too much coming out. So my opinion is once in a while, you can find hidden gems like this. I don't know how Brainworx has become a hidden gem, but you can find gems like this where you can find this plugin on sale for $25, $30, $40. And say you don't have $150 that month to buy something new, but you really want to motivate yourself and inspire yourself with something new, go and buy something else that's on sale for maybe $30 or $40 instead of spending $150. And often these older plugins are available whenever sales happen. These older plugins get blown right out the door for really good prices. And prices that if you know how to build a signal chain, you won't even shake a stick at it. You don't care about any of these other features, because if you learn how to build a signal chain, all of a sudden you can use any of this stuff and not really worry about what's in there or not. As long as the amp itself sounds good, you can build around it and you can build a signal chain that is going to sound professional, that is going to compete with and keep up with, or at times do better than the suite that you might have just purchased for $150. You might find that plugins for free or on sale, or that's just everyday regular prices, affordable. You might find some plugins, if you open your mind and you get outside certain brands and you go and look at other directions, you might find some stuff you really like for a lot less money. You might find different sales, and in this case, Plugin Alliance will give you free stuff just for getting on the mailing list and send you free stuff, more free stuff, and free money later. You can't lose. And they also have subscription bundles as mentioned. So if you're interested in their guitar bundle, I would suggest, if you're interested in any of their guitar stuff, do the guitar bundle subscription for a month. Try them all and then figure, okay, next time there's a sale, I'm going to buy that one and this and that. And they're going to be cheap. All right, folks, that's what I can tell you. Wow, nobody has said anything in a while. I feel like I'm talking. I feel like I'm a Twitch. That's what I feel like. Back when I tried to do the Twitch thing during like COVID, that is the loneliest place in the world if you're a brand new streamer, brother. If you are a brand new Twitch streamer, that place is apparently going to shit now, but yeah. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. I really do. It's going to be great. The next couple days, it's going to be a lot of fun. As mentioned, yeah, I have no idea. Where'd everybody go? Is everybody here? Everyone's mad. Everyone's mad that I took a ball away from my cat. Oh! I didn't take the ball away from him. I was just like, no thanks. All right, folks. I don't know what happened to the chat, Pedro. There we go. Skullage 13 jumps in. Aw. I just wasn't sure what happened because it was moving pretty good, and then all of a sudden it was just like flatline. I thought I had lost the chat again until Pedro mentioned something. Because what happens on my end is sometimes I lose the chat, it'll just stop, and I won't notice it, and I'll just think it's gone slow, and then I'll be like, why hasn't anybody said anything? And I'll go do the in and out thing, and it comes back, and there's like 40 messages, and I'm like, oh shit, you know, like. So anyways, sometimes I'm just like, hey, what happened? Where are you guys at? Anyways, thank you so much for being here. And as Bo said, he says it perfectly right there. The long and short of it is, give old plugins a try. They have more value than you think and may surprise you on the quality. Absolutely. This plugin is older. This plugin came around the same, I think a little after for the very first version of Fort Nameless Suite. And I'm telling you right now, go and grab both Brainworx diesels. There's this one right here, and there's this one right here. And this one is incredible. The Herbert and the VH4 really are absolutely incredible. Bypass the IRs if you want, or poke around until you find something that you like. If you don't find anything that you like, I'm promising you right now, if you blend it with some of your favorite IRs, they all accept IRs, third-party IRs. They work along with IRs really well. And I cannot say enough good things about these old Brainworx plugins. I still use the VH4 and the Herbert on my own projects all the time. And I haven't recorded anything in a little while, but honestly, when I do, these are two of my go-tos, along with, I've honestly only got a small handful of go-tos, and these two have been on that list for 7 years now. Yep, the old Lapoo stuff also still plays. I still use the hybrid from time to time, although I have to admit, the hybrid was finally replaced after years of being my go-to for leads at all times. My go-to now is the Nembrini Audio MP1 Pro. That's the 80A MP1 plugin that Nembrini Audio did. That thing just walked in and just took over, like, just cleaned house, overhauled my lead section. It was just like, I live here now. Look at me. I am the captain now. That's literally what that plugin did. Just walked right in and said, nah, you're going to go. And that's cute, but you're going to go, and see you later. Yeah, this was fun. Thanks, Johnny Cecil. You almost got yourself a free plugin in disguise. Awesome. And again, thanks so much for everybody for being here. Like and subscribe. I am hoping to be back tomorrow or Sunday with these bad boys. I can't wait. I have to figure out which guitar I want to put these in. Well, I don't know what just happened there. I don't know which guitar I'm gonna put them in just yet, but we'll figure it out. Thanks, everybody, and I will see you guys next time.
You can have me if you want me. All I need is a little shrimp money. I need a place for all this shit in my closet. I need a place to put all my electronics. Ain't nice. Ain't nice. You ain't the nice, but you got a nice face. Hope I can fit all my shit at your place. Got a collection of vintage calculators. If you don't like it, well, babe, I'll see you later. Ain't nice. Ain't nothing nice.